This is the Booktube oldie tag. This was created by Sam over at Thoughts on Tomes. There was a previous Booktube oldie tag, which I think I've taken part in, but I can't actually remember. So here we are with another version. This is Sam's version. She posted her video in May of this year, so it's brand new, and it's basically talking about all of the sort of history and trends on Booktube and the Booktuber's own experiences. So let's get into it. The first question is, when did you start your channel? I started my channel in October 2010. So my channel is nearly 14 years old. I have been booktubing for half of my life, which I think is wild. I started just before my 18th birthday. I celebrated my 18th birthday on YouTube, sort of. I told everyone that I was going out to celebrate the day of my birthday. I don't think there's a specific question on why I started my channel. So just to give you a bit of background, what happened was back in when I was like 15, 16, maybe earlier probably, I read Twilight. All of my friends read Twilight and I was like, this talking about books thing is really cool. I was obviously a reader before that, but it was the talking about books that was new to me, because growing up not many of my friends were as into books as I was. But that all changed around the Twilight era, so I think I was around 14 when that happened. So we read Twilight all pretty much at the same time, fangirled over it of course, and then we moved on to, or I moved on to shifter paranormal romances, vampire paranormal romances, because that's what I found in the charity shops near where I lived. I couldn't afford brand new books, so I was very reliant on what the people in the village were reading and donating. So I started out reading Lindsay Sands, the Arjano vampire books. I think this was back when there were only like 9 books out, and now there are 20 something, which is wild. And I read Rachel Vincent's Shifter series, and there are a few other ones in there as well, but those were the 2 that were kind of iconic. This was followed up by Nalini Singh's Side Changeling books, but that's because I was trying to find something that was a bit like the Arjano series, so I was doing a bit of a Google. But I found those books in the charity shops, and then I lent them out to all of my friends, and we created a kind of book club, I suppose, and it was just so lovely talking about all of these books with my closest friends. This isn't something that I had been able to do before. And then I got a boyfriend, my first ever boyfriend. That relationship didn't last for very long, and I think after we broke up I was doing some sort of binge reading, trying to get over it, so I was very heartbroken. Something that I also really wanted to do was find some pen pals, because I had also pen palled when I was younger, and I thought it would be really good to get back into that hobby and meet some people online. And I joined the website interpals.net, I think it was called. I don't know if that thing's still running. I found some pen pals and made a lot of friends. Through this I also found a website called Goodnight Little Spoon, which was a pen pal website. She used to decorate her envelopes that she was sending out really beautifully. She's basically an artist. She still is now. She's got a career doing art and stuff. And through her I found book blogs. So then I decided that I wanted to become a book blogger, and so I did. In May 2010 I posted my first ever blog post, and that was a review of Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins, and then I just didn't do anything else for a while. And then I got back into it I think in September 2010 and posted a review of Clockwork Angel, and I discovered a few more book blogs from then. And something that I noticed was a lot of people posted on YouTube with their book hauls. They didn't necessarily have a dedicated Booktube channel where they really focused on the community on YouTube, but they did embed YouTube videos onto their blogs. Back in the day there was a weekly meme called In My Mailbox, run by the Story Siren, until she got involved in some plagiarism drama and deleted her site. And that was like the biggest meme that everyone did in the book blogging world. Every single Sunday they posted their arcs and purchases and stuff, which is probably where all of this consumerism around books started, but anyway, that's a different topic. So I saw that and I thought maybe I could also join YouTube. I watched a few different YouTubers and different like communities and stuff, and I thought that might be something that I enjoy, and it turns out that I did. So I posted my first video, which was titled Hi, I'm Amber Pepper, and that was just a very quick couple of minutes introduction to my channel. And then I think I posted my next video, and that was a book haul in my mailbox. Yes, so my Hi from Amber Pepper video got 438 views and then my book haul got almost 500 as well, and that would have been embedded on my blog. And then from there I just carried on booktubing. So I started officially, in short, in October 2010, and I've been here ever since. Question number 2 is, what were your staple videos when you first started your channel versus now? So before, back in 2010, you only really posted book hauls and book reviews. Sometimes you would also post a wrap up. I used to post those quite regularly, and I used to embed the hauls into my blog as well and do the blog hopping every single week. That was really fun. And then there would also be some tags as well. I think there were tags in other communities that sort of spread over. So I think those were the staples, was mainly hauls, tags, and then the occasional wrap up as well. It doesn't look like I was doing a wrap up every single month. I did post my entire TBR pile at the end of 2010, so that was definitely around. We'd also, I think, post shorter videos than we do now, because I think Hank Green in the Vlog Brothers once said that shorter videos were more snappy. YouTube preferred those, whereas now it definitely prefers the longer form content. I would post like 1 minute videos here, like talking about my subscribers, thank yous, a little bit of a personal message, asking people to choose my next video, but in review format, because we didn't have like the community posts back in the day. So yeah, lots of tags, wrap-ups and hauls, I think. Can't really find much else. Like no like vlogs or anything. No one really vlogged at all. Now I don't really know what my staple videos are. At the moment, I'm mainly just posting like the regular monthly things like book hauls, TBRs, wrap-ups. My new releases videos I really enjoy doing, but I really want to get back into reading vlogs a little bit more. I just never really find the time, and I quite like my experiment videos where I focus on one author and decide which of their books is best. I've done that for Ruth Ware, Kristen Hanna and Taylor Jenkins Reid. So it'd be really cool to do more of those sort of experimental videos where I go through an author's entire backlist. I would also really like to post more review videos. I've been over this before, but I keep forgetting. Basically is my thing. I forget to record basically as soon as I'm done with the book, and then I forget about the book. So that's probably a reason to post more review videos, so I don't forget all the freaking time. Also live streams. I've been doing a few more live streams this year. I haven't done one in a little while because of work, but I'm going to get back into that. And those definitely weren't a thing back in the day. I don't think you could live stream on YouTube. So yeah, that's that question. I think I've answered it. Question 3 was, what was your favourite book the year you started your channel versus now? So in 2010, I've had a quick look through. I can't really remember what I was reading. I definitely finished the Hunger Games series, obviously, because I posted a review on my book blog, and I liked Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. I think I also really enjoyed Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver, if anyone remembers that one. I think it was turned into a film actually recently, or fairly recently. That was a contemporary book about, it was kind of like a time travel book actually, so that kind of makes sense with my taste. So it was like a Groundhog Day situation where the main character died. I can't remember the exact premise, but she kept waking up and had to experience the same day over and over again up until her death, I think. Can't really remember what the message was there, but I remember really enjoying that one. I also really enjoyed Inside Out by Maria V. Snyder. That was her dystopian series that she did. She was more well known for her fantasy series, but then she published a sci-fi dystopian duology, and I really enjoyed that. And that's what introduced me to her work actually, and then I went back and read the Poison Study books. I also read The Forest of Hands and Teeth, which was a zombie book, and I didn't love that first one, but I remember the sequels were quite good, so I really enjoyed those. And I think what I really enjoyed about them was that the second book had a massive time jump and followed a different generation in this zombie world, so I really enjoyed the generational stuff there, which I do really enjoy now. Also really loved Choker by Elizabeth Woods. This was like a YA thriller. I don't think she has ever released another book, but that was a really good one, and it had a really good twist ending. I don't think I'd find it as twisty now, but it was really twisty and good at the time. And then there was also Across the Universe by Beth Revis, which was the first book in a sci-fi series about people traveling across the universe and a murder mystery happening on the ship. So really enjoyed that one as well. And I can see like bits and pieces of my taste there compared to now, which is really interesting. Like things have carried over through the years. Oh, and Vampire Academy, of course. So I think now my favourite books are City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty, all-time favourite desert djinn fantasy. Also really enjoy space horror at the moment, so that coincides with like the space murder mystery stuff that I was really enjoying at the time. Really enjoy historical fiction, like historical generational fiction and time travel stuff. The time travel relates to Before I Fall. Historical generational, I think that was a new discovery, so I don't know where that's come from. I've also really enjoyed The Song of Achilles. That's one of my all-time favourite books. I recently read Bride by Ali Hazelwood, and that was one of my favourite books of the year so far because it's a paranormal romance book, so that's going full circle back to when I was like 14. So yeah, my tastes have changed a little bit, but the tropes and things and certain aspects have very much stayed the same. Oh, and this also relates to question number 4. I guess the two questions related. Number 4 is, how is your reading taste and the reading trends of the community? Oh, okay, no, I've read that wrong. How has your reading and the reading trends of the community changed since you started your channel? So back in the day, it was mainly younger people on Booktube, and I can remember a few like older people on there, but it was mainly the younger lot. So they were very much reading, or we were very much reading YA a lot. And those were definitely the more popular books. That's why YA exploded, not just because of Booktube, but around the time of like the Hunger Games and Twilight, Divergent coming along later on as well. YA was very much the main focus of the community. And then you had a few people like experimenting with classics and literary fiction. And then as the community expanded and people who weren't necessarily so hip on the internet were joining Booktube because they realized YouTube was a really cool community and it wasn't actually that difficult to post videos, we started to get all sorts of different genres. And I think that's kind of happened with my reading. I was very much reading only YA for a certain period of time, although I started with adult paranormal romance, so I don't know how the YA thing happened. I'm guessing because I started booktubing. So yeah, once more and more people joined the community, we started getting more and more different perspectives and ideas and likes and dislikes and things. So yeah, I would say it started out with YA in the community, and then a little bit of like classical reading, people who weren't as interested in YA, and then we started to get all of the like sci-fi specific channels, fantasy specific channels, more literary prize specific channels. So yeah, it's gone through a few different trends, and so has my reading, but I think the staples of my reading have pretty much stayed the same. There were a good, like, I would say 3 years in there where I only read YA, and then I started to introduce adult back into it again. Don't know why I kind of ditched paranormal romance for a little bit. That's really interesting. I don't know why that happened. Question number 5 is anything you want to share about your life that has changed since you started your channel. So like I said, I started when I was 17, so pretty much everything has changed. My friends went off to uni and I didn't, and then I got a job in the village where I grew up. I was only originally going to stay there for like a year or so, and then I was going to save some money and then go traveling, but I didn't go traveling because I kept getting promoted at my job and getting more and more responsibility, but also more money, which was really important to me because I was saving up, and my intention was eventually to buy a house and leave the village. Somewhere in there in 2015-16 I met my now husband. I did move out of the village, and then a few years later we were able to buy a house. I now have my own 2 cats and 1 dog. We live in an entirely different town to where we originally moved to. I am still at the same company, but I have gone through various other promotions and job changes and stuff, so gained a lot of experience there. I'm now 31 and I've travelled to a bunch of places, not for like the months at a time that I was kind of expecting to when I was younger. I was envisioning going like backpacking and stuff, but that's not happened. I've just done short stints in different countries. And in December this year, I'm going to Australia, which was originally going to be my destination when I was 19, 20. So yeah, it's funny that that has come around, and that's because we're going to my husband's friend's wedding. Yeah, that's really interesting. We're doing a little road trip. What other things have changed? I think that's pretty much it for like my personal life. I know that's like a lot, everything has changed, but that's pretty much all of it. I have a lot more different hobbies now. Previously my only hobby was like reading and booktubing, but now I also gamed a little bit, to be fair, but now I sort of meddle with a few other things. Exercise a lot more than I used to. I have a lot more different friends than I used to as well. I've still got my friends from the Vampire Diaries forum that I joined when I was 16, but I've met friends in like the local community and also within like Booktube as well. New people have joined and I've gotten to know new people. So yeah, pretty much everything has changed since I was 17. I could go on forever about that. Question number 6 is why do you keep making videos? And honestly, I just really enjoy this hobby. I really enjoy reading and then talking to a camera about the books that I'm reading. I really enjoy also making plans to the camera. I don't even know what it is. It's not even just the Booktube community. It's the fact that I enjoy doing literally this, sitting here and talking about the stuff that I'm passionate about, which is books. A part of it is also obviously the community. I've made some really good friends here. I really enjoy watching other people's videos. I think this is mainly like a creative outlet for me. I know I don't do like the fanciest things with my videos, but it's something a little bit more creative than just sitting at my desk and working, and it's being creative with something that I am passionate about. So I think that's the main reason why. I don't really love the editing as much. I get some really good ideas for editing and it looks really good in my head, and then by the time it comes around to doing it I just get so sick of it. So that's why my videos are mainly just like choppy. I don't even know what you call it, like pasting things together, because editing is not the most exciting part. But yeah, I do really enjoy just sitting here and talking about books. Even if no one is watching my videos, I still really enjoy doing this. I also recently was able to get monetized, and while that's not a reason why I keep posting videos, in fact I've posted fewer videos now that I'm monetized than I did before. Just because of time constraints. That's a pretty good reason, because I would really like to save for a new camera. I'm making I think like £1.50 a day on YouTube or something, so this time next year I'll be able to get a new camera. Question number 7 is and this is the final question, what are you excited about or hoping for in the future of Booktube? I think I'm really interested in to see where the trends go next and how people are gonna be more creative and kind of adapt YouTube trends to fit Booktube. It's not going to be me because I'm not the most creative person with those kind of things. I'm not usually the first person to do that kind of stuff, but I always get really excited when people are creative enough to see something like on a different part of YouTube, like lifestyle YouTube or like gaming YouTube or something, and bring it over to Booktube, and that stuff is so interesting to me. And then in terms of like personally, I hope to post more reading vlogs and document my life a little bit more, because I do really enjoy looking back on old vlogs that I did and seeing where I was at that point, but recently I just haven't been able to do that. And I'm thinking like in 10 years time I'd really like to look back and see what I was doing around this time period, so I'd really like to do that. I think I'd really like to start a second channel because I really want to start travel vlogging once I'm able to travel again from like December, January, once I have money after saving for my wedding. I'd really like to post vlogs about my travels because I really enjoy going back and looking at those. I've posted like Netherlands and America vlogs before, Wales as well actually, and they don't do very well on this channel, and I don't really need them to, but I don't want to confuse the algorithm and make it think that I'm trying to make the switch, because I want my book videos to be seen. So I'd really like to create a second channel I think next year and post about my travels and things, and it probably won't be like the most active channel because I don't travel that often, but I think there's a lot I could do on another channel. So that's kind of like a hope for Booktube, is to split up my bookish reading lifestyle with my travel lifestyle, I suppose. What other stuff am I looking forward to? I hope that I'm still doing this in a few years because I do still really enjoy it, and I hope I keep making friends and seeing new people joining the community, and I hope that it just continues to be a welcoming place for people to join. And with that, I think that is it. I don't know how long I've been talking for, my voice is going, so I'm gonna have to stop here. If you ever want to talk to me about like the history of Booktube, the evolution of it, I've actually done a video on that like 9 years ago or something. I posted about the evolution of Booktube. I could talk about this for hours, so that's why I wanted to do this tag, because I just love talking about the history of things and how Booktube has like changed and grown and stuff. It's just really interesting to me. So if you ever want to talk about that, then feel free to message me because I love that kind of stuff. But with that, I'm done. I don't think I'm going to tag anyone because I don't really know who's an like oldie nowadays. I cannot tell when people have started their channels. I just know when I've discovered them. Yeah, with that, I'm going to end the video here. Thanks so much for watching. I'll speak to you all in the next video. Bye.